Hi, I'm Aryan Mehta. I'm also SimpleFitnessGains on YouTube. You're here to get healthy. We all are. So, as the title suggests, we're going to be analyzing the key aspects of a full range of motion, a topic that has come under scrutiny lately. Now, it's exactly what it sounds like. It's the manipulation of the muscle from a fully stretched position to a fully contracted position. Now, this point goes without saying, but don't stretch or contract past the point of comfortability. And I'm not talking comfortability in terms of difficulty of the movement here. I'm talking in terms of flexibility and anatomical comfort. Don't stretch or contract past what feels right. If you feel a twinge or a tweak or a click, don't do it. Save yourself a lot of struggle because that could result in a disaster far worse than suboptimal muscle gains. Now, with that being said, there are two components to range of motion: flexibility and strength, which altogether make up your total capacity for mobility. Strength is, of course, the peak amount of force that your muscles can produce in a given contraction to move a certain amount of resistance. Flexibility is the total range over which the muscle can produce these contractions and overcome the resistance. To ensure you achieve optimal mobility capacity, which is amazing not just for looking better, but for also performing better in life and in athletics if it pertains to you, ensure you do all your reps from a fully stretched position and a fully contracted position, or at least whatever feels comfortable in that range. This ensures that the total maximal capacity for your personal mobility is being tested. And obviously make sure to do these reps with challenging weight and push it to or very close to failure. If you need guidance on how to go to failure, check out my last video. In terms of this video, I thought the title said don't do full range of motion. So what are we talking about right now?
Are you lying to me?
Recently, the topic of partial reps or not doing repetitions within your full range of flexibility has become popularized mainly due to the vast majority of influencers who are talking about it online in their videos.
Though research confirms this now, that in some cases at least, bottom end partials are more effective for hypertrophy than even full range of motion stuff.
While many may say that this will never be an effective training method and scoff and laugh at the suboptimal form, these guys may have a point, and we, the fitness world, may just be pretty clueless. And in fact, these guys do have a point. Whoa, oh my god, no way. Various studies have begun to suggest that bottom end partials, or partials done with a full stretch, produce similar or even greater gains than going with a full range of motion. However, for those who do partial reps, calm your hype down a little bit. I said bottom end partials. Let me explain. Let's assume you're bench pressing, a very common exercise that I recommend for everyone in chest development. You would raise the bar or the dumbbells, bring them to your chest, ideally contacting your chest, but instead of going back to the original contracted position, you would stop a few inches shy of this position, but then go back down to the point of contact with your chest. You're not sacrificing much at the top, but you are sacrificing a little bit. However, you're sacrificing nothing at the bottom, and that's the key here. We're sacrificing a bit at the top, but nothing at the bottom. And scientifically, this does make a bit of sense. In fact, it makes a lot of sense, and we'll get to that. So, why exactly is the science pointing to some benefits with this method? Well, let's look at it from a muscle's point of view. Muscle strength is defined as the maximum amount of force that a muscle can produce, and that is directly correlated, of course, to muscle size. The reason why I'm so strongly emphasizing the bottom portion of the movement, or the maximum stretch you can produce on the muscle, is because that's when the muscle is not at its strongest point, as some may think, but the weakest point. So you're setting me up for failure, and I should never listen to you again. The weaker of a position the muscle is in, It requires exponentially more force and more output to move the weight. Hence, in a fully stretched position, we are literally producing the maximum output that our muscles can generate on mostly every rep. And by not going all the way to the top, we're increasing the percentage of time spent in that weak or stretched position, and thus increasing the percentage spent generating that maximum output. Once you get past a certain threshold, your muscle is generally in a stronger position and can let go of some recruitment of nervous system capacity and muscle fibers. But at that bottom portion, it really needs to generate its full capacity to actually move the weight. We are constantly challenging our muscles to produce its maximum output, challenging its reserve resources, forcing it to adapt, forcing it to grow. So with all of this mentioned, why is full range of motion still largely used, recommended, and beneficial today? I've said it once, I'll say it again, and I'll say it 50 more times if I have to. Functionality is the most underrated aspect of lifters when they go to the gym. They rarely ever consider it, even though they really should. Think about it. How many times will you actually use the concept of a bottom end partial in daily life? How many times will you be lifting something, stop halfway at the destination, then go back down? You lift something with a purpose, to get it somewhere. You don't stop halfway. Part of the whole point of going to the gym is to make everyday tasks easier and increase our overall capacity for life. But if our gym training isn't analogous to the types of tasks we will be doing in daily life, then what's the functional point of our training at all? Size and strength is great, yes. But in this case, we're not even sacrificing size and strength by doing full range of motion. However, by not doing full range of motion, we are sacrificing a bit of functionality, so it's important to consider every single lens before we train. So, while bottom end partials are indeed a great way to actually improve performance in the gym and get jacked, it's best to include them at the business end of our workouts or those final sets on a big compound movement, just so our daily gym training can actually be applied to our daily life. Before signing off, I want to give out some shout outs. If you want gear which will really expedite your lifting journey and ensure that your muscles are receiving maximum stimulus, I'm linking these lifting straps right here. I don't have enough subscribers to link stuff in the description, so I'm writing it out. You can also check out my website, neurolaym.com, right here. It's a great way to learn about the brain and neurology because the information is condensed in a manner unlike anywhere else on the internet. And with that, this is Aryan Mehta and SimpleFitnessGains signing off, reminding you to stay cognizant of the content that you consume. Stay tuned for more of this useful content in the very near future, and until next time, I'll see you.